Hello everyone, you are welcome to today's class. So in this class, we're looking at another concept, and that is pie charts. So in this video, we're going to be looking at the following objectives. The first one is to define what a pie chart is. We look at the meaning of pie charts. After then, we look at how to identify the parts of a pie chart. Then we look at how we interpret data presented in pie charts, then how can we create a pie chart. So that's what we want to look at in this video. So it's a very interesting topic. So let's look at what we have for you. So when we talk about pie chart, if you look at this, the image you have on the screen here, you can see this is a pizza of different, which has been divided into different sizes, right? So this is when you present a data or you present information in a circle, and each category of the information or the data is represented by a slice. So then that is what refers as what the pie chart. So we're still going to look at the meaning before we say it. All right. So if you look at this here, this one here, so let me pick another pen. So this one here, this uh, slice here is we represent a category. This also represents a category. This also represents a category. This also represents a category. And this one will also represent another category. So each of these, you can see this is a sector. So let's look at another one. So let's now look at how it will be mathematically on your question or on your paper. So this is real life pie chart. So let's look at this one. So if you look at this, you can see these are divided into different sectors. So this is just like your pizza as well. So you can see each of them, this one is having 108 degrees. This is 45 degrees, 54 degrees, 72 degrees, 1 degree. And each category, this one is for maths, this is for science, this is social science, this is English, this is Hindi. Oh, I hope I'm making sense. So when you represent information or you represent data in circle like this, in circle, that's what refers to as a pie chart. So that's what will lead us to the real meaning of pie chart, and which is this. So a pie chart is a circular graph divided into what? Slices. So as you can see, it is all these are being divided into what? Different what? Slices. This is one slice. And each slice is called a sector. Because we have done properties of circles. Look, if you have not watched that video, check on my channel, you see the video. So we have the circle like this. So if we have different types, we have parts of the circle. This is center of the circle. So this is a radius, this is another radius. This part that is shaded there is a sector. And that's what each of these slides is talking about. It's talking about the sector. So that's what we refer to as it. So each slice represents a category of information, and the size of the slice shows how much of the whole is what it represents. So the size of it will determine what that category represents in the whole. For example, you notice that the mathematics here represents the larger part of the whole sectors that we have there, right? So that means the number of students that are doing mathematics are many. You understand? So that is this one. I hope this is clear. So then that is what we pass. So now let's think of a whole pie as 100% or 300 as 100%, and each slice is a percentage of that whole. So that is each of these are percentage of the whole circle. But if you want to draw it sometimes, this is given in degrees. So if you add all the degrees together, it must give you 360, because some of angles at a point is what? Is 300 and what? 360 degrees. So that is the reason why the total degrees in the pie in the circle will give us 360 degrees. So each of them, if we add all of them together, we must get what? 360 degrees. I hope I'm making sense. That is what we have under the meaning of pie chart. So let's now look at how to solve questions on a pie chart. Now we have, let's make a pie chart. So imagine we ask our class, this class, what their favorite fruit is. So we have 5 students that say okay, they prefer apple, they love apple, they like apple. While 3 students said that okay, theirs is for banana, while 2 students are what? Oranges. So how do we now solve this problem? We want to present this information in pie chart. Here's how to turn this data into a pie chart. How? The first thing we need to do is to add all the numbers together. Add all the numbers together. That's 5 plus 3 plus 2. That gives us what? Total of 10 students in the total. Then we now need to calculate the degrees. For apple, how many students prefer apple? 5 students prefer apple. 5 out of how many students? 10. So that's 5 students divided by 10 students. Then since the total degree that we have in a circle is 360, that will be multiplied by 360. But if we are taking it to percentage, this will be multiplied by what? By 100. That is this, instead of this one to be 360, this will be what? 100. So this will be 100%. This is going to be percentage. But at the end of the day, when you add all the percentages together, it must give you what? 100%. But in this case, we are looking at degrees. We want to convert it to degrees. So after converting to degrees, that's when we can then draw the pie chart. So that's how you do this one. For bananas, we have 3 students. That will be 3 students divided by 10 students. So that multiplied by 360. That will give us 108 degrees. Then the other one, the last one, which is orange. So 2 students prefer orange. That's 2 divided by 10. So which gives us 1 over 5. Then multiply by 360, which will give us what? 72 degrees. So if we add all this together, this will give us 360 60 degrees. How about making sense? That will give us 360 degrees. So that is how to do to change or to convert the data into degrees. So this will now help us to form to draw our pie chart. So we're going to look at now after drawing the pie chart, this is what we're going to have at the end of the day. So the first thing we want to draw the pie chart, draw a circle, as you can see. Then divide the circle into slices based on the degrees. And this we divide this circle into what? Sectors. As you can see, what we are going to use your what? Protractor to do that. So use your protractor. So you can see this is 180, that's half of the circle. So that's what you can see. And you notice that is apple. That's why you have it in it's painted in blue. So that's we apple there. Then for bananas, it's 108. You measure that using your protractor as well, which is give us what? 108 degrees. Then for the last one, which is orange, this is 70 degrees. This is how we present it. So we're still going to look at the question whereby we're going to demonstrate how to draw these pie charts later on, but not in this video. But we still have another question that has to do with when sometimes we'll be given questions that the pie chart will have been drawn, and some questions will be asked on how to get some things on it. So that's what we're going to look at next. So that will be example 2 now. So under example 2, we have the adjoining pie chart shows the sports liked by 720 students of a school. Now, the question now is, look at the pie chart and answer the following questions. So the first question we have there is how many students like cricket? Now, mind you, you notice that we have been given the total number of students in the school, right? Which is 720. Now the question asks us, how many students like cricket? So the first thing we're going to do, let me remove the picture so that we can use this page to solve the problem. So since the total number of students in the school is 720 students, and the cricket, we look at the cricket sector, it is 120 degrees. So which means for cricket, number one, the question is how many students like cricket? How many students like cricket? So how do we do that? So the degree of cricket is 120. So we're going to say cricket, which is 120 degrees. Out of the total degrees we have in that circle, total degrees we have in the circle is of 360 degrees. So that would be 120 out of divided by 360 degrees. Then, how many students are in the school? Multiply by 720 students. So that will give us a number. So we have converted this into fraction. So fraction of students that like cricket is 120 over 360, which is what? 1 over what? 1 over 3. So because 0 cancels 0, 12 here 1, 12 here 3. That's 1 over 3. So you can let's say 3 here 1, 3 here, that is 2, remainder 1 in 12, that is 4, that is what? 0. 0. So that means 240 students like what? Like cricket. 240 students like what? Cricket. I hope that is clear. Then move to question 2. How many students like football? The same way. How many students like football? So we're going to do it the same way. There's the number of students that like football. So how many footballs we have there? That's 45. So we're going to say football, and that would be what? 45 out of what? 360 degrees multiplied by what? 720 degrees. So this will be 0 cancels 0. So 36 here 1, 36 here was 2. So that's going to give us 90 students. So that means 90 students liked football. 90 students liked football. So I hope this is clear. So the total number of students who either like pool or hockey. The total number of students that like pool and what? Hockey. So which means we must find hockey and pool. So hockey and pool is what we're going to look for now. So how do we do that? Let's play this. So the third one is total number of students who either like pool or hockey. So we can do this in 2 ways. The first one is to find out the total number of students that like what? Hockey, and that of students that like what? Pool. So if you look at hockey and football, they are the same. We just calculate that, and the 90 students like what? Likes football. So which means hockey as well. So hockey, since they have the same degree, so hockey too, we got 90 what? 90 students. I hope I'm making sense. So in that case, we're going to have that of pool. So look for pool now. So pool will then be 60 degree out of what? 360 degree multiplied by 720. So 0 cancels 0. 6 here 1, 6 here 6. Alright. While 6 here 1, 6 here 1, 6 here, that is 2, that is 120. So which means 120 students are like what? Like pool. So what would then be the total of students, number of students who either like pool or hockey? So pool or hockey will then be what? 90 plus 120 degrees. That gives what? 310 what? Students. 310 students. I hope this is clear. So 310 students. So that is that on this one. So the next stage is now to go to question 4. So that is that is first step. So before we go to question 4, let's look at another way of solving this. So okay. So for the second step, so what we're going to do now, we're going to add 45 degrees plus 60 degrees. So that gives us 105 degrees. So For both of them, this is going to be 105 degrees divided by 360 degrees times 720. So in this case, 360 here 1, 360 here 2. So that means we have 105 times 2, which will give us 210 students. Which is the same thing with what we got in the first method. So you just pick anyone that suits you before you move on. So let's move to question 4 now. For question 4, so if you look at question 4 here, what percent of students like basketball? And this one is in percentage. Please take note of this. It's very important you take note of. This one is in what percent? Don't make the mistake. What percent of students like basketball? Where's basketball? That is 90 degrees. So for basketball, they don't ask you to find the number of students that like basketball. That means, so we are not going to follow this process. So that's going to be 90 out of 360. So because it's percentage, multiply by what? By 100. I hope I'm with you. Multiply by 100. So 0, we cancel 0. 3 here 1. 3 here, that is 12. Alright? So 2 can go here 6. 2 can go here what? 50. 2 can see that is 3. That is 25. So that means 25 over 3. So by the time we now convert it to decimal, that 25 divided by 3 gives us excuse me, 8.3. 8.3%. That's going to be 8.3%. So that means 8.3% of the students liked basketball. That is percentage. They can ask you to find percentage of the rest as well. Now let me show you something here. It's possible that they ask you to find this one. Maybe you are not given the degree. You are just given the number. So like this one, the total number of students that liked hockey and pool is 210 students, right? We now want to get what is the percentage of this set of students. So this would then be what? 210 out of what? 360, out of 720. Because total number of students is 720. That will be 720 multiplied by what? 100. So we are dividing this one by 360 because the angle, we are looking at the angle, we are given 90 degrees. So total degrees in this is 360. But here is number of students. Total number of students is what? 720. That's why we are dividing by what? 720. I hope you can get the difference between the two. So from here now we can decide to call this, and you get your answer. So this will also be what? In percentage. I hope that is very clear. So I'm just bringing that up so that in case the question is twisted, you'll be able to know what to do. Then the last question we have there, let's look at that. Now for question 5, how many more students, listen carefully, how many more students like pool than basketball? So that's supposed to be done. So than basketball, this is supposed to be than basketball. So that means we need to get the number of students that like pool and number of students that like what? Basketball. So we now find their difference. So that we'll be able to know that okay, the number of students that like pool more than basketball is this. I hope that is clear. So we need to calculate that of pool now. And we have calculated that of pool to be 120. So pool is 120. 120 students likes pool. We have done that already. So there's no for us to do that again. Then basketball. We did not look that of basketball. We only found the percentage of students that like basketball. So in this case, we need to find the number of students that likes basketball. I hope I'm making sense. So in that case, we need to have basketball. So that's going to be how many? That's 90 degrees. out of 360 degrees. Instead of multiply by 100, don't forget, the last one we multiply by 100. We now multiply by what? 20, because we want to find the number of students. All right. So 360 here 1, 360 here was 2. So this gives us 180 students. 180 students like basketball. So the number of students that like more basketball more than, so you can see the number of students that like basketball are more than what number of students that like what food. So in that case, so the difference between the two will then be 180 minus 120. So that's going to be what 60 what students. So which means 60 students like basketball more than food. So that is how this question should be framed. I hope this is very clear. So this answer is very important. So this answer might come out in the objective. So but that of drawing will always be part of what theory. So which we are going to look at in details so in the next video or subsequently we're going to look at. So if you find this video useful and helpful, don't forget to give us a very big thumb up. And if you have not joined the the channel, kindly subscribe so that you can have access to video when they are produced. So thank you. God bless you. Bye for now.